Hey guys, Zomfox here, and today it is time to start our first ever Pokemon journey on the channel, and that is going to be Pokemon Shield. We're going to get right into it with our little character creation here. Going to put our name as Zomfox, obviously, nothing, too shocking. Now, why Pokemon Shield? It's a pretty weird choice. Again, this game, it's not like it's on a truly massive, anniversary. Like, yes, this is like year 6 of the game is coming up. But of course, year 5 was really last November-ish is when you'd call it a 5th year anniversary. The truth is, this channel is not going to just be a Let's Play channel. It's obviously going to be things like the cards, as well as, ranking stuff. But to do truly fair rankings, like ranking every first gym leader, like ranking all the games in a tier list, you need to be fully experienced in all of them. And the one that I have the least amount of experience in is Galar. Why? Well, I played Sword when it came out, I beat the game, beat the post-game. I didn't basically touch it till Isle of Armor came out, played that. Crown Tundra came out, didn't even play it. So I haven't really touched this game in like over 3 years, really. And Scarlet and Violet, while I've had about the same amount of playtime in total in that one, obviously that game is much newer and much fresher on the brain. This game, not as much. Now, this, of course, is a game that's 6 years old. I'm not going to read every single piece of dialogue. If I end up getting Legend ZA and I end up doing that as a playthrough as well, which I'm thinking about doing, that will be different. That'll be like a traditional walkthrough. You actually, read everything, so everybody's following along. But for this one, just kind of do the gist. Of course, this is just Chairman Rose talking about a little pre-game stuff, for the game and all that. Don't really have too much to say or care about this part, so just going to get through this one. Now, each of these parts I'm planning to have about be 20 to 40-ish minutes. I know it's a long difference. Probably more like 20 to 30. But mainly because I just don't want these parts to be insanely long. I think that, having them be 40 minutes long would just be a lot for a game that's been as old as this one is. Especially because when you look at old past walkthroughs, they'll be like 40 minutes long. But especially with how, post-Gen 5 games are, so Gen 6 and beyond, there's a lot of cutscenes, there's a lot of dialogue, so a lot of the videos are just them saying what the characters are saying. So, even if I do these at like 20-minute intervals, I'll probably get almost as much, if not more, done per a part basis than even like the old YouTubers did, like, Munching Orange, ManJD TV and all that. It'll just end up being just as much, if not more, done because of the fact that I'm actually just skipping through a lot of the dialogue. So that's kind of why I want to do this. The way I want to do it. So I'll probably end this part once we get through the, the little cutscene with the Zamazenta or Zashi, and I'll probably end it there. Because pretty much the beginning game is just you a bunch of intro stuff, you eventually get your start, and you go in there, and that's pretty much it. And then you get to be able to catch Pokemon and all that. So we'll see, though. Of course, got to get our bag first, I believe. Got to go get our bag, go get Hop and all that. Eventually get our starter Pokemon, which, spoiler for the team building, I know, obviously this is my first video on the channel, you don't know who I've used before, but I don't want to use Pokemon that I always use, right? I hate playing games using the exact same team. It's why when I was replaying Pokemon Platinum, like the past year and a half, I purposely wasn't using, your basic Lucario, your basic Staraptor and all that. I did use Garchomp, that's because I actually never used a Garchomp originally, but I did use it. Alright, did I? Yeah, I used Garchomp. I used, Torterra, which is a starter I hadn't used in a very long time. I usually never used him, just because, obviously, if you're playing Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, mainly Diamond and Pearl, you're basically forced to pick Chimchar because of the Fire-type issue, and I just always liked Empoleon, so used Torterra. I ended up getting a Seaking, actually, as one of my Pokemon I was using. I know, shocking. Crobat, never really used a Crobat before, so used a lot of Pokemon I didn't use before. So in this game, basically means I'm not allowed to pick Rookie, I'm not allowed to catch a Rookidee or, Corviknight, obviously. I don't necessarily remember the rest of my team, but I know there's certain Pokemon that I know I didn't use. Like, of the Route 1 Pokemon, I believe I used Thievul. I don't know for sure, but I believe I did, but we'll see. Let's go over here, talk to Hop and all that. See what he has to say. Little Wooloo trying to do some stuff over here. Gonna hit the fence again. Now this is what eventually breaks and allows you to do the whole cutscene with Zashi or Zamazenta. So we'll get there eventually, but obviously that part is not right now. Keeps hitting that. Let's race. Okay. So there goes Hop right over there. Gonna go follow him. We go to his house. Then you go down to the Wedgehurst station to see Leon, I believe. So we'll see how this all goes. So go over here and go inside. Now, I do hope the audio sounds good. Again, this is the first video, so if it's a bit off, I will fix it for the second part. Obviously, I'm not going to keep the same issue, going. But we'll see once we get there, so. Just talk over here with Hop's mom, and then we'll eventually go over there. See how everything goes. Have to go with, yes, I know, Hop, going to go with you to go see the Leon. Then are we going to get our starter and all that, do our initial battle, where we're going to just spam, pound, and water gun, because I'm probably going to pick Sobble, honestly. It's just kind of who I want to pick. I know there's probably less fire types I want to catch than water types, but I kind of don't want to use Cinderace, because I feel like that's one a lot of people use, so I'm going to go with Inteleon. Again, like I said, I'm not using one I've already used before, so I'm not going to use Rillaboom / Grookey and all that. Little Hop just stands there making sure I can't go in the tall grass, and then this area gets like blocked off or something. Let's go over here to Wedgehurst. See Leon and Charizard. Let's see. There's Leon. Smirking bro, got that smiley face on. All the fans of the unbeatable champion. Gonna go get our starter. Gonna be good. I mean, I'm gonna check its nature. Doesn't really matter, obviously. I mean, we're talking about a playthrough team, but you would obviously hope it's, not a bad one. So we'll see, though. That Charizard's so strong, ain't it? Too bad it's gonna lose at the end, man. When I go face Leon, I'm gonna get that W, and he's gonna lose. Gonna suck for him. Gonna be great for me, though. Go to Leon and Hop, the two brothers right there. I don't know the canon age of Leon, but I assume it's probably about a 10-year difference between the two of them, right? That'd just be my guess. I don't know for sure, though. I don't remember how old the protagonists are in this game, because I know they vary. Like, certain games are, like, as young as 11, and some I think are as old as, like, 16 or something. Might even be older than that, but I just don't remember the top of my head. So now we're going to go get our starter. Only took close to 10 minutes. I know it's not exactly 10, but it's pretty close to it. Again, it's just the early games of the post-Gen 5. Like, Gen 5 was the last one, which was simple. You went up the stairs, saw Bianca, and then you and Hugh got your two starters, and then that was, boom, journey starts. And then Gen 6 was like, nah, we're going to have this a little intro cutscene. It takes, like, 3 minutes to do if you're, like, speed running it. Just annoying, but it is what it is. I will say, first and foremost, like I said, a big reason I'm playing this game, want to replace one first. Scorbunny. Sobble. Like I said, a big reason I wanted to replay this one is because this is the one I had the least amount of, like, remembrance for and all that. And I will say that the cutscenes look a lot better than I remember them looking. So that's definitely a good thing. Look at Sobble being a bully right there. Gotta bully the little Scorbunny for no reason. Barry falls down. Sobble gets a bit scared. Crying, bro. L Sobble right there. Come on, don't gotta cry like that. Everyone line up. Okay. Which will you choose? I am going to go choose Sobble. That's for sure. Did not mean to click that. It was a misinput. So there's a little Sobble. Yes, I'm going to go with the water type Sobble. We're going to name it Sharp. I have thought about this one. Because for those who don't know, he becomes Inteleon, who of course is basically like a sniper or a sharpshooter. Really? I missed that? A sharpshooter, so we're going to call him Sharp. Sharp the Sobble, has a good ring to it. So yeah. Wow, is that when you got that? That audio was weird, at least it sounded weird to me. I'll go with Scorbunny. We're going to go beat Hop and his Wooloo and Scorbunny. It ain't even going to be close. It's going to be a free W. Gonna just spam Pound and Water Gun, because you level up to level 6 and then you get your move. Though, the one thing I will give a lot of credit for this game is that they actually explain the third starter. Leon gets and keeps it, and then trains it to become a part of his champion team. That was a really good game design. Definitely one of the best uses of the trio starters. And it's the only game I feel like it's excusable to have your rival have the weak starter to you. No other game I feel like is it justifiable. It's just done for the sake of making it easier. This one, I like it because it makes the rival easier, which fits with the whole story arc of him and character arc, and it makes Leon that much scarier of a final battle, because now he has the starter that yours is weak to, which is just great game design. Yes, we understand, blah, blah, blah. Of course I have, Lee. Okay. Time for the battle. We're going to go against Hop. We're going to catch this W right here. So again, with the whole strategy with this one, you basically just use Pound on his Wooloo, knock it out, then you get Water Gun, and then that's it, GG, you win kind of thing. So let's get right into it with this one. Yes, I'm ready for my first ever battle. And more importantly, champion time, blah, blah, blah. This is going to be good. Solid theme. I know Beads is better. I remember his. I know his is better, but this is not a bad theme. The Pokemon battle is. Okay, so let's get this one. I will say, this was definitely the first game that really made you question why there wasn't voice acting. Because, like, yes, you could have had it in other ones, but this one where it was, like, really evident that you didn't have voice acting because of how these cutscenes are, but, you know, hey, maybe in 10 years we'll get voice acting, and it probably will take 10 years. Gonna use Pound here, gonna knock it out, and then we're gonna get Water Gun, so that's gonna be huge. Down goes Wooloo, we'll level up, get Water Gun, be able to knock out Scorbunny in 2 hits, I believe, so it's gonna take, 2, okay, 2 attack, that scares me. Did we get a positive attack nature? Again, I know it's not the end of the world, it's a playthrough team. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's the end of the world if you get a terrible nature. But, you know, when you have either a inconsequential nature or a good nature, it just makes things, you know, easier and speeds it up. Because, you know, having a positive special attack versus a negative special attack type of nature can be the difference of you one-shotting or two-shotting certain Pokemon. So, yeah. We'll say the animations are a lot better than I remembered as well. Now, I know that the justification of getting rid of, you know, a ton of Pokemon in the Dex cut was not justifiable with how different it is, but they're still better than I remembered. Critical hit, bro, that crit did nothing. Okay, so we're just using random quotes now. So, beat Hop right there, level up. Hopefully we get something good. I know it's Inteleon, I believe speed and special attack are the 2 best stats that it has. So, obviously you'd want them to be better, but, you know, if not, is what it is. Let Charizard, yeah, that would have been fine, bro. Charizard versus myself, I might have stayed a chance if it misses every one of its attacks. The Pokemon gyms, yeah, and then Leon tries to shoot that idea down immediately. Trying to be a bully to him, saying, nah, you're not able to do it. Then all it takes is like a second battle and he gets it. It's pretty funny. The Pokemon Research Lab. So before you go there, though, you have to do the whole cutscene with the Legendary, I believe. Let's see what Sobble has here. Okay, so not great. No, not the worst nature, but not the best nature, so... is what it is, though. You know what I mean? Now the Wooloo opened the gate. Got to the whole Zamazenta cutscene. I mean, it's not a fun one. It's like, I like the story and world building kind of thing, but you know what I mean. If you've done this, you know what I mean. It's like it adds an extra like 4 minutes of playtime early on in the game. I feel like it should have been like a turn or 2 shorter. I believe you have to do like 3 attacks on it before it goes away, and so it ends up just kind of taking a while. Especially because this is before they have it be traditional. in a sense where the grass is like old school grass, where if you're just in it, you can find a Pokemon, you know, without any like, oh, you have to wait and see one. So you end up battling Pokemon like this. You get like, I think, forced encounters. And so, again, it just adds time, which isn't fun, but is what it is. So there's Sharp. Gonna hit the runaway. We're not gonna deal with this. Just gonna go to the next battle. I believe we get one more encounter. I think you get like one encounter per every grass. I think it's just you're kind of forced to. So there's the Rookity right there, becomes Corviknight, which is definitely one of the wildest changes, is that that little thing becomes a steel bird. It's pretty cool, but definitely wild. So we're going to just run away right here, go. And then I think we have one more. I think we're going to get healed, right? Hop's going to heal us, even though we literally haven't even taken any damage. I think he did, okay. No, one more. There's the Squovit. Again, not going to use a Squovit. The only Pokemon early game I might catch is Wooloo, and that's just because I think it would be funny, considering how Hop and his Wooloo and double ends up being. So I feel like that would be a good one to do, just for that reason. So I'm probably going to catch a Wooloo, and then catch a Pokemon, maybe two, probably just one in the wild area. And then that'll be half my team. We'll have 3 Pokemon for Milo. Because again, I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, we're not going to get to the first gym leader till probably part 4 or 5, even if, you know, I keep speed throwing this game like I am. Just because you have so much to do. You have to do the whole Team Yell initial thing with Marnie, you have to battle and find Bead, you have to do the gym challenge intro thing, you have to go to 2 different professor buildings, right? Because after this one, you go to the first one in Wedgehurst, then you have to go to another one. You have to do at least 1, I think maybe 2 rival battles at the top. So you have a lot before you get to Milo. It's actually crazy. So here is Zamazenta. Of course, yes, we all know Zamazenta is severely weak when compared to Zacian. Of course, it's not only the fact that, you know, the classic, oh, playthrough teams are, you know, offense is better than defense. Even if you don't count that, it's just that one of them having, you know, a great attack stat that's boosted with Steel Fairy as the typing is just crazy good. Whereas Zamazenta, it's, you know, it's there. You know, you hate to say it, but having a defense boost is not great. Like, if Zamazenta's thing boosted both defenses, I'd say it could work, but the fact that it only boosted defense, I believe, it's just nowhere near as good as Zacian, who just gets the attack boost. I mean, being able to do, like, 50% more damage initially is just such an OP buff, it's insane. So that's it now. Yep, Zamazenta using the haze. So now we're going to be kind of knocked out. We're going to wake up or something like that. Right, Leon's going to see us. He's going to have the Wooloo. And then I believe we talk to our mom at this point, and we can kind of start our journey in a lot of ways. And we'll probably end it there. I know I don't want these parts to be super long. If I can keep them around 20 minutes, I'll take that. Again, when Legends ZA comes out, that'll be different. I'll probably have those parts be like 30, 40 minutes each. But for this game, especially when you compare it to, like, OG playthroughs, you basically just have to speed through these ones, because, again, this isn't new. I'm not going to say every line of dialogue. If I was, we'd probably be at about the 38-minute mark, basically twice as long as we are right now. Just because this game is so much dialogue. It really is wild that these early games were like... Well, not early games. They're just... These post-Gen 5 games, just... My goodness. So there's the Wooloo. Hop's talking about the Pokemon that attacked us and all that. Moved past right through it. Yep, the fearsome Pokemon, the illusions. I will say that Zacian and Zamazenta as a legendary duo, not in terms of how competitively viable they are, but in terms of just being legendaries, they are probably the best since at least Gen 5. They might be the best if you count Gen 6. That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not better than Zekrom and Reshiram, in my opinion. I think the truth and ideals and the story behind that's better. But since then, there's an argument that they're the best. They're definitely better than Miraidon and Koraidon, easily, no contest. They're definitely better than Solgaleo Lunala, easy, no contest. But Xerneas and Yveltal, that's where it gets kind of like, I don't know. But they're definitely a really solid one. Having them connected to the Darkest Day, having the whole twist at the end is great and all that. So we're going to end this part soon over here. Probably just going to head over to Wedgehurst. Start this one off over here. We're not going to head to Wedgehurst, but we're going to be kind of over here-ish. So there's Hop, going to talk about big step forward. Scorbunny in the tall grass, the big building over there, of course, Pokédex. I think this is a solid place to end it here. I know we didn't do a ton, but again, it's early in the game. There's some Wooloo over here. So we're going to end it right before we go into the initial patch of grass. Again, part 2 will probably catch our first Pokemon, so be looking for that. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Again, not much happens. It's part 1 in a modern Pokemon game. There's a ton of dialogue to get through. So make sure you're around the channel for that. Going to do 2 videos a week, so expect one on probably Wednesday and Saturday. Might be Sunday. I don't know, something like that. You know, every 3-4 days kind of thing. And as always, guys, have a great night.